Hi everyone, my name is Mary and welcome back to Quinn Inc. Today in this video we're going to be working on this poncho. So we're going to be working on the hood that you see right here. Let me open it. Here we go. So we're going to be working on that hood. We're also going to be working on this tie and the border and everything, and then we're also going to have some sleeves just like this, okay? And then you have the other sleeve on this side as well, okay? And it's really pretty. Now here's the thing, I'm going to do this in parts so that way you get a better view of this beautiful open poncho. Now this is going to be called the Diamond Tribute Open Poncho because this is a tribute to my kitty cat Diamond, who died a couple of years ago. She died of old age and I had her for a very long time. You might have seen her in videos. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the chair around and show you the back portion. So there you go. There is the back portion of the open poncho. This is more of a spring to summer cardigan. So let's get started with part one of the Diamond Tribute Open Poncho, or what I like to call the Diamond Poncho. So hopefully you like it. It's very beautiful. The hood is very open. You can change the hood as well, and then you have this tie right here so that way you can tie it on. Alrighty, so I am back and I measured the poncho, so I'm gonna zoom out. So from the tip of that sleeve to the tip of that sleeve over there is going to be 62 inches. I'll zoom in from the top of the hood right there where the string is all the way down to the bottom is 37 inches. The hood itself, the width across is 19, and the length of the hood from the top of your head down to the poncho is going to be 18 inches, okay? So that is your measurements. If you want to make this bigger, remember you can make more rows down here at the very bottom. So right here you can make more rows, making it longer. This one, you can make that one longer as well. It's kind of strange how it turned out. So now that you have the measurements and everything, let's get started with the poncho. Now if you're wondering where I'm recording this on my living room floor. So let's get started with the tools and how to make this. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button. So if you're enjoying this video, I know that you like it. And then also if you want to, go ahead and subscribe. So if you want to see more tutorials such as this one and others I will do on the channel in the future. Now the other thing is too, this is my first poncho for myself, not just for the channel. So this will be the first poncho of the channel as well. Okay, so let's get to learning how to make this and all the tools you'll need.
Alrighty, so the tools that you're going to need for this open poncho is going to be as follows. You're going to need a needle with a large eye hole, so that way you can sew in all your strings. You're going to need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, so that way you can cut all of your strings. And you're going to need about 2 stitch markers, no more than that. And then of course, now we're going to talk about yarn. So in the background here, you see a bunch of little tiny balls of yarn. And these balls of yarn are going to be what I got, Lion Brand Yarns Mandalay Ombre. That's what this is called. And it's going to be in the color Chai. It's 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 344 yards, and about 315 millimeters. So this is going to be a size 4-weight medium. And if you're wondering what this is right here, this is my cat Sonia. She's on the desk and wanting to be in the video. I used about 4 balls of this Mandalay yarn. And if we can move her out of the way really quickly, I can show you what the ball looks like. Sorry about that. So this is what the ball looks like. It's got colors of cream, dark purple, and this light purple color, okay? And what I ended up doing was pulling each color apart like this, okay? So we pull that color off, and then it looks like I have a little bit of white in here. So I just kind of pulled out the white like this and kind of pulled the strings apart until I felt the color was done. Once I felt the color was done, I snipped it. So that way this is all purple, and then I'll wind that into these little tiny balls that you see back here, okay? And in order to make this poncho, we're going to do them in strips. So we're gonna first start with this cream color, and then we're gonna go purple, then it's gonna go cream, and then it's gonna go light purple, and then it's going to go cream. So that is how the strips are going to go when we do this pattern. And so you just have to do that with these balls when you grab them, or these cakes. You'll just pull them apart like this. Okay, and this is how I did it. And then I just went and grabbed this color right here, and then I snipped it. And then this will be one of the colors that I will put into a little ball. Okay, and then I did that with the purple as well. So what I do is I just pull it apart like this, and I slowly slide it down. And it's better to do it on the outside than on the inside. You can do the inside if you please, it's up to you. And then once I got there, so this was really nice. So it looks like they tied this little ball right here for us, or tied this string. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut off that little knot. Okay, and then this will also be into a small little ball, just like this one. And then we'll do one more color, and then I think you kind of have the gist of how to do this. Now when you do this very slowly, because as you can see, I didn't get all the color off. So I'm just slowly going to pull it apart like that. And then there we go. And you can cut it wherever you would like. Okay, so there's another one right there for me. And I'll do one more because we're almost done. So what you just want to do is just pretty much hold your finger with one of the colors and just start sliding it off, kind of like if you were taking off a pair of pants. Just kind of want to slide it off nice and slowly. Now as you can see, there's some purple in there, some dark purple with the light purple. So I'm just going to slowly pull it. And then there we go. And if you're not really sure, because it looks like the colors are just blending, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to cut it right there. And there is going to be a ball of light purple. And then this one is going to be dark purple, and as you can see, there's one more color in there. And so we're just going to pull that color out. I know this is taking a little bit longer, but I'm just showing you really quickly. And as you can see, there's some purple in there. So you can just kind of snip it. And then there's another dark purple. And then you can also look inside, and it looks like there's nothing else in there but that light purple. And that is how you will pull a full entire skein or cake of that Mandalay ombre. So let's get started with the open poncho. Alrighty, so we are back, and we are going to start the amethyst poncho. This is the diamond tribute poncho since my kitty cat died. So you're going to start with the cream yarn, and you're going to make a slip knot. So wrap your yarn around your fingers to make a ring. Put that yarn behind the loop. put your hook inside there and then pull. And this is going to be an open poncho, so make sure your yarn tail is out of the way. And I like to pull on it a little bit. Now we're going to do a foundation single crochet of 72. That's how wide I feel the neck hole of my poncho should be. So to do a foundation single crochet, you're going to chain 2, so yarn over and pull through, pull up a little bit on the loop, yarn over and pull through again. You're going to go back into that very first chain that you made from the beginning, just like this. Put your hook in there, and then grab your working yarn and pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and only pull through that first loop to make a chain, and then yarn over and pull through both loops to make a single crochet. Then you'll go back into that chain right there, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop, grab your working yarn and pull through to make a chain. Make sure your loops are really nice and loose, so that way your chain can be nice and loose. Yarn over and pull through both of those to make a single crochet. I'll do that one more time. So now you can kind of see that chain right there. It looks like it's kind of twisted. You'll go under both bars, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. Make sure it's loose. Yarn over and pull through that first loop to make a chain. Yarn over and pull through both of those loops to make a single crochet. You will be working on the bottom, so make sure your yarn tail is on the top and not turned over where it's down here. Okay, I will be back when I have 72 of these. Alrighty, I am back and I have one more foundation single crochet I have to make. So I'm going to go into that chain, grab my working yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over to make a chain, yarn over and pull through both loops to make a single crochet. Once you've made 72, don't forget to count. This is how long it is. I know it's very long. When we get to the very end, what I'm going to do is we'll be working on the bottom of this, so that way we can tighten it up. Now what you're going to do is you're going to flip your work upwards, okay? And we are now going to be starting on row number 2. So row number 1 is always going to be your foundation row. Normally you would chain, then go back and double crochet, but I don't want to do that, so chain 1 for row number 2. Okay, and now this is going to be the starting row. I apologize, you will hear my husband in the background snoring. It's very early on Saturday morning and I really wanted to record, so I apologize for that if you can hear it. Okay, so now what you're going to do is into that very first stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. So yarn over, go into your stitch, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Put 1 more double crochet back into that stitch. Okay, now you're in a double crochet into 17 stitches. Make sure you count this one as a stitch, and then you'll just double crochet into 16. So 1 double crochet into the next 16 double crochets. Counting this one will be number 17. I will meet you once I have 16 double crochets. Okay, when you have 17 double crochets, that's also counting this one right here where we put 2 double crochets into. In your 18th stitch right here, you're going to put 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and put 2 more double crochets all into that stitch. Now what we're essentially doing is we are making sleeves, and we are also making the back point. So this is going to be one of your points right here. So this, if we were doing this in a circle, you would have 4 points all together. This is one of your points. The 2 double crochets at the end here is also a point, but we're not going to chain 2 to make that first point. So for this one, this will be your second point, and this will be where your arm's going to be. So this will be like on the middle of your shoulder. Okay, once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to double crochet into the next 17 stitches again, and then we're going to make that point. So I will meet you back once I have 17 double crochets, and I'll meet you back once you have 17 stitches. Alrighty, so I am back and I made the 17 stitches, and in stitch number 18 right there, again you're going to put 2 double crochets. Oopsies. 2 double crochets all into this stitch, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all into that stitch. So normally what's going to be happening is you're going to have your foundation row, and then you're going to have your row where you're going to start to make your points, so that way you know what needs to go next for the next rows. So this row is going to be our starting row, and then row number 2 will be pretty much your repeat row, where you'll just repeat it over and over again, and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so again, you're going to put 1 double crochet into each of the stitches until you get to 17. We've got to make 2 more points, and then we've finished pretty much our starting row. Okay, so I'll meet you back in 17 stitches. Alright, so I crocheted my 17 stitches, and into your 18th stitch right here, you're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all into that stitch. Chain 2, 2 more double crochets. Alrighty, so now you will put 1 double crochet into each of the next stitches until you get to the end, and at the end you'll put 2 double crochets in there, and this will finish off our starting row. Now if you're wondering, how do I make my foundation single crochet smaller? So make sure your foundation single crochet is even rows or even numbers, and then you divide by 4, and that way you'll get a nice clean number. Okay, so I will meet you back once I make it to the very end. Alrighty, so I finally made it to the end of the row, and I'm going to put 2 double crochets all into that stitch. 1 and 2, and that should have been 16 stitches from this stitch right here, so that's all 16, and now you'll have 17 when you add that. So the repeat row for row number 2 and for every row afterwards is going to be this. At the beginning of every row, you will chain 1, turn your work, put 2 double crochets into that very first stitch. That's at the beginning of every row and at the end of every row as well. Excuse me. That'll keep that pattern going. And then what I'll do is I'll double crochet into each of the next stitches, to every stitch, even into these 2 right here, and when I get to the chain 2 space, I will put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all into that chain space. And I will do that for every single point that you see here. Every single point will get that 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all into those points. And you'll just keep repeating that over and over and over again until you get it to the length that you want it. Now for the poncho that I am making, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 more row in this cream color, and then I'm going to change to the dark purple that you see right back here. I'm going to change it to this one. Then I'm going to go back to the cream, 2 rows of that, and then I'm going to go to this light purple and 2 rows of that. So that is going to be my pattern. As the poncho grows and grows and grows, I won't be able to do full 2 rows of each of the colors, so I'll just have to change it. So row 2 is the row that you're pretty much going to just keep repeating. It's technically row number 1, so row number 1 is going to be your repeat row. I am going to do this, I'm going to say a total of 25 rows. I want sleeves onto my poncho. It's going to be a little bit different than what you normally see, and I'll show you how to do those sleeves. They're optional, okay? But that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to put a hood, and before we put a hood, we'll come back to the very beginning chain right here, and we'll tighten it up a little bit before we make the hood. Okay, so I will see you in about 25 rows. Take your time with this. This poncho is going to take a while for me to do. Okay, so I will see you in 25 rows. Okay, we are back, everyone. I made it to 25 rows. This is what it looks like. I'll pull it apart. Okay. There's the sleeve over there. And then over there is the other sleeve. Okay, so we are going to, let me put my camera down. We are going to get started on the sleeve. So let's do ourselves a favor and let us start over here on this sleeve. Much easier to get to. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you're going to go to the bottom of your cardigan. Okay, so like this is my bottom, and what you're going to do is you're going to count 56 stitches. Once you get to your 56th stitch right here, you'll put a stitch marker in there, and as you can see, I have a green stitch marker in there. Okay, so then what you'll do is you go to the very next stitch right here, and that will be number 1. Then you'll count again, you'll go around the sleeve like this. Okay, when you get to the 2 double crochets, chain 2, you'll count these 2 stitches. And what I did is I counted the chain as 1 stitch, and then I counted these 2 stitches, and then I went all the way around until I got to stitch number 69. And then what I ended up doing was putting the stitch marker and the 2 stitches together like this. So once I had my stitch marker in there, I would just put the stitch marker on those 2 stitches. Okay, and I did the same thing on the other side. So if we come over here, we can see that we also have a stitch marker. Once you have all that, I am going to grab the dark purple yarn because I don't have enough of the cream, and I'm going to show you how to connect these and make these kind of into open sleeves like this. Okay, so you'll have an open, cute little sleeve. Okay, so let's get started with that. Alrighty, so we are back, and I flipped my poncho on, flipped it over, so the front is laying on the bottom of my desk. Now we're going to connect our yarn, so put your hook into your last stitch. This is going to be the flap that's in the front, okay? So you put your hook into there, grab your purple yarn, and pull through, and we'll just connect it really quickly. Okay, and the only thing that we're going to be doing is double crochets, just like we've been doing throughout the whole entire poncho. Put your hook back into that stitch, grab your working yarn, pull up a loop, grab your working yarn and chain 1. You'll go back into that stitch for 2 double crochets, just like we've always been doing. And if you made it this far into the video, please don't forget to scroll down and hit that like button so I know that you're enjoying this video. And if you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that way you can see more tutorials such as this one. Okay, and into the next stitch, you're going to just double crochet. So into each of the stitches, you'll double crochet until you get to the stitch marker. And once you get to the stitch marker, I will show you what to do then. And I will meet you right here at the stitch marker and show you what to do next. Okay, be back shortly. Alrighty, so we are back and I made it to the stitch marker. As you can see, this is our sleeve. I'm going to kind of tuck it under so we can see this a little bit better. So when you get to the stitch marker and these 2 stitches, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a single crochet decrease and kind of close off this gap. So to do a single crochet decrease and single crochet 2 stitches together, you're going to go into your stitch, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to go over to the very next stitch, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Now I'm holding them together with my my middle finger and my thumb so I can get a nice good grip. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 to make 1 stitch, and then that way we can close off this wonderful gap right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double crochet until I get to the next stitch marker, and I'm going to do that same single crochet 2 stitches together. When I get to the bottom right here, all I'm going to do is put all in that chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. This will be the only main point that you will double crochet into. Because we are closing these off and making sleeves, you will no longer have to crochet into the sleeve points. As you see right here, we're done doing that. But you will at the end and at the beginning of every row put 2 double crochets. Okay, so I will meet you down at the other stitch marker. Alrighty, so I am back. Finally made it to the stitch marker. Took me a little while. And I have 1 more stitch that I have to double crochet into. So let me do that really quickly. And okay, so when you get to your stitch marker, just like we did a few minutes ago, you're going to go into your stitch, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to do that single crochet 2 together decrease. Okay, and then I'm just going to double crochet until I get to the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to where we had started from the first row, and we're going to close that up a little bit so that way we can start making the hood. And then if I have extra yarn, I'm going to make this poncho a little bit longer. Right now I don't think I have enough yarn in order to make this longer for right now, but I just wanted to close up these sleeves so that way we have that started and I don't have to worry about it when I come back, and it doesn't keep stretching out all my stitches. Okay, so I will be back shortly, and then we're going to go up to the very top of the poncho where our neckline is, and we're going to do some decrease stitches and kind of tighten that up a little bit, and then we'll start working on the hood, and I should see you shortly. Alrighty, so we are back, and I hope you enjoyed that portion of the video where I'm showing you to close off your sleeve. We are going to end the video here. So in the next portion of the video, what we're going to do is we're going to do the hood. You guessed it, yep. And we might do a few other things in the video. I'm trying to make this into a 2-parter, so this will be your very first part where you learn how to make pretty much 25 rows of your poncho. And then you also learned how to close off your sleeves if you wanted that as an option. So in the next part, we're going to learn how to do the hood. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button so I know that you're enjoying the video. And don't forget to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so I know that you want to see unique tutorials such as this one and others I will do in the future. And until next time everyone, I will see you in part number 2.
Bye-bye, everyone.